Okay, so in this video, I wanted to talk about something that has really been bugging me lately, and that is the loser's queue in this game. I'm really not sure why it exists, why it has a place in this game for, any type of reason. Um, I feel like the competitive scene, for the most part, is pretty healthy. I think the game, when balanced and when you're getting like actual good teammates, is pretty fun. And I think a lot of people can agree. This is, I think, one of the better competitive games that is out right now because of how they keep updating the game and making it better, on top of adding skins and aesthetics and stuff that everybody loves. I mean, it's Marvel. A lot of people love Marvel, so as it is, it's already appealing to a lot of people. But the competitive scene, to me at least, is kind of at a point for me where it's like annoying because of how hard it is to have success for a sustained amount of time. Like the amount of time, the amount of times where I've gotten into a loser's queue for no reason is just unbearable. And the thing is, what people don't understand is it's not necessarily just getting the worst teammates, but it's just getting placed into lobbies with a bunch of losers. And sometimes that is getting terrible teammates. Like, and I'm not here to explain, losers queue and like everything that has to do with it in this video because that's pointless. And to be honest, I don't really even know all of the points. Like, I'm not like, super well educated on the matter as of right now, but it is something that I care about because I care about this game. I've been, heavy on this game for the past, you know, 3, 4 months, and I was in Celestial, and now I'm all the way at the bottom of Grandmaster 2. So getting in these losers queues really it really has fucked with me because it's like, am I in the wrong? Have I just been playing terrible? And when in reality, it's not that. It's just the fact that I can't get shit for luck. And the thing is, the game will balance itself out because it'll give you games where you get really good teammates and you know you win. Um, but that's the thing about the game. Like, that's just how it be operating. Like, you'll get great teams and just roll the other team, or you'll get terrible teams and you get rolled. Like, unless you're at like a super high elo, like, Celestial or above, or not even Celestial, because I was in Celestial. If you're like Eternity or above, you know, you're gonna be getting rolled, and especially when you got teams that don't have comms. I just fucked up that portal on that play. I forgot about that. This is the first game, by the way, of my 5 game losing streak that I went on. Um, wasn't very fun. This is what took me out of Celestial. I remember playing pretty decent in this game, but ultimately, you know, versus a whole nother team, it's kind of hard to hold your ground when you're just one player. And I'm not saying that the teammates I got were terrible, but I mean, I can't exactly, as a healer, I can't carry the team. That's more so for DPSs and tanks that have those big ults. But ultimately, what I've kind of learned from this whole experience is that when you're playing, you got to take it one game at a time. There's a lot of times when I lose like a lot in a row, and I kind of try to just get it all back quick, but that's not gonna happen most of the time. What you need to do is you need to, like I said, take it one game at a time, not overthink too much. Kind of just go about it one game at a time and just you know do what you can, control what you can control. As a healer, you're not going to be able to control the game. Like, if your DPS and tanks aren't peeling for you, that's not your fault. Especially when you're giving them comms and you're making it known. Um, there's a lot of situations like that. And this is a very dive heavy meta that we're in right now. You got characters like BP, Magic, Spider-Man. Guys that are just really thriving right now because of how prevalent dive is. All you gotta do really is ban Namor, um, and even Bucky too. And at that point, dive is pretty much just overpowered in that sense. But one thing I've learned is that a lot of it is a mental game. Um, you know, um, it's I feel like it's pretty hard to get better at this game. That was a crazy play by Wolverine there. It's pretty hard to get better and get to higher elos when you're alone, like when you're solo queuing. But the thing is, a lot of people look down on stacking with other people because they say that it's not as hard as solo queuing, which is true. But just because you're not solo queuing doesn't mean you're not working hard. It doesn't mean you're not making plays. Whereas if you're solo queuing, you might get grouped up with people that are just terrible or just don't have game sense, don't have knowledge of the current meta, and that kind of stuff will fuck you. It's a shame, you know, but ultimately that's kind of just the state of the game right now. Like you're gonna have a lot more success with people that know the game and are really good at characters that are meta rather than not knowing the meta, not knowing the game, not knowing, you know, just the ins and outs of, the game and the maps that you're playing on. And it's a shame because there's a lot of games, I wish I could have back that, I probably played good in, but it's like I could have done so much more. And even with that, it's like I still think, how did I even lose this game? Like, and sometimes the crazy thing is like there really is nothing you can do in certain situations. Like sometimes you really just lose, and it's okay to lose. But like we're talking about, this has to do with the losers queue. Like sometimes there's just nothing you can do about it, and that's when it becomes much more frustrating because you want to rank up so badly, you want to win more games than you lose. And the reality is, you can't do that because you're in a loser's queue, and because you're forced to pretty much bear with teammates that are also losing. When you're in a winner's queue, everything is great. You're winning, you're with better players, but in a loser's queue, it's just like, oh, like I got this Captain America who's on the team and he's not very good and doesn't want to switch. And it doesn't have to be it. Captain America could be any character that just isn't playing well. But you know, those things happen in a game, and it's like, damn, like, why does this have to happen to me? Like, why couldn't I have just been on the other team? And it sucks, but ultimately, like, that's kind of just how the game is right now. Like, I really wish I was just at a higher elo, like eternity or higher, so that I wouldn't get as many bum teammates. Um, because that is what be selling me a lot of the time, and it sucks. That's kind of just the reality of it. But I've kind of just learned to accept it at this point. But one thing for sure is that this game needs to change when it comes to that. I don't I don't like making excuses when it comes to the way the game is. Like you kind of just have to accept what it is and kind of go off that. But I feel like it's apparent that this game has a lot of problems, and fixing the queues to where it's not loser and winner queues and just random matchmaking based off you know, whatever rank you're in, I feel like that would work much better than whatever else is going on. Than this shit. Like, because when you're on the winning side, like, it's fine. Like, you don't complain. You maybe feel bad for the other team, but you don't complain. But when you're on the losing side, it's oh shit. Like, really about to really about to lose really about to lose some points and really about to drop into the rank we were already in. For me, Grandmaster 2, and it can be really frustrating. Right now, I'd say the biggest thing is just trying to stay calm and not think about it too much. But it's hard to not think about when your game is getting sold by you know the way it is. Like, it it really does suck knowing that this is kind of the state of the game right now, because you'll watch like competitive and you'll watch like the pros, and you'll think like, damn, like that looks so fun. And then you'll play the game for yourself, and it's like, you're getting blown out. And when you're not getting blown out, you're blowing the other team out. One thing I've noticed is there's not really a whole lot of close wins on this game. Most of the time, you win convincingly. And when you're on the winning side, it's great. Like, the games are shorter because you're dominating. But, when you're on the losing side, it's really, it sucks, simply put. And to make it fair for everybody, I think it would be great if if the Marvel Rival devs, really focused on that in this upcoming season. Because we got like a month or so left of this season currently, 1.5, and I think I would really love to see that change. I really wonder how that would make things different in the current state of competitive, uh, yeah, in comp. And I'd like to see how I could fare in that update, and hopefully it works out for the best. I think it would, because I don't really like getting bums almost every game. you know um my friend often criticizes me, telling me that I can't rank up on my own when I've done it before. But also, there's times where it's just like there really is nothing you can do. um Games you lose that are very out of your control. And like I said, it's a shame, because nobody wants to lose games that you should win. Um, Especially whenever you blow a lead. Like, there's games like that too. Like, you have 99% on point and you lose. And there's games when you don't even get point, you lose. Like, there's so many ways to lose um on this game. They just make it very, very annoying. But yeah, that'd be one of my biggest like fixes with this game. I know there's some more things they probably gotta fix up. Like, I think, for example, Bucky's kit is very overtuned, is a word that people are throwing around a lot. Um, I think that's pretty accurate for the character. If anyone's played him, I've played him, so I definitely know and I understand, and I've played against him. I've been on both sides, so I understand fully how it works. I think the best way to nerf him would be to just make it to where you only get his shields if you hit with your abilities, because you get shields for his abilities even if you don't hit. That's a little off topic. Back to what I was saying though, with the losers queue. I think just get rid of it. Get rid of losers queue, get rid of winners queue, whatever it is. Get it out of the game. Make matchmaking more fair for every player. Um, I'm pretty sure everybody would want that. I'm pretty sure that'd be fair for just about everybody. Um, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people can speak to those experiences, and like being on a bad team, being on a team that sells you, like you can do a lot more, but ultimately it just doesn't happen. So it would just be great if they could make that change. If not, it is what it is, I guess. Um, but more than anything, I'd love to just see some change on this game. They've already been doing it over time, and I think that's what has made this game really good. The fact that they're able to adapt and make the game better. But yeah, no wonder we lost this game. We had a Black Widow. But um, I would just love to see more fair matchmaking going forward. There are some games that you lose, like just selling, and guys like that doesn't have to do with matchmaking. Like there's some times when you have the better team, and the other team just plays better. But in this case, it's really just like because loser queues are a theme, like we discussed, and I really would encourage you all to search up the loser queue on like Google or something and look into it more, because I don't have all the facts and I don't like know everything about it, but I do know that it is a thing currently in the game, and you know, for me at least, makes it really unhealthy for the community, and I feel like it would be a much better game, much better competitive scene if that were removed, because as it is, I think it's already a pretty good competitive scene, but the fact that there's that asterisk on it where guys get boosted by being in the right queues, and better players get cucked because they're in the loser queues. It's really tough. So I'd like to hear what you guys think about this, and what your thoughts are about loser queues and winner queues. If you think they're real or not, and I guess like what your answer for like a fix would be, because you know um, everybody kind of has their own ways of how they would make the game better and all that stuff. So yeah, pretty much just what would you do to fix the game? What would your what's your opinion on the whole situation, and just how you feel currently about the competitive scene? But with all that being said, thank you guys for watching the video. I'm not sure if I'm gonna make more videos, to be honest. I might, just if I'm thinking about something, if something pops into my head. Um, but we'll see going forward. But I mainly just wanted to do this because of how I was feeling about the competitive scene. And yeah, hope you all enjoyed.